What we're looking at here are the dams on the Rio Grande. There are 16 dams north of El Paso, and there are 2 dams in Texas south of the Big Bend National Park. Now here in the Big Bend uh, is the little water that's being released upstream, uh, and we're going to see a little bit uh, later is what happens without this water coming from Mexico. What would happen, what is actually happening, starting at the Big Bend National Park. And here's an example of what the water on the Rio Grande is doing here. Not enough water coming downstream. And of course, the water level here goes to the edge under normal circumstances. But we're experiencing, according to LANDSAT NASA, the worst mega drought in 1,200 years. And of course, from the Rio Grande water, there are 2 million acres of agriculture that need this water. And of course, if farmers are having problems getting the water, and of course it just cascades downward, all the problems that occur because of this. Now this is walking on the Rio Grande, no water, and this is what it was in 1985. Photos from 1985 when I was there. And of course it's running normally, and there are raft trips along the Santa Elena Canyon here, but a little bit later we're going to see exactly what's going on here. Look at this. There is no water along the Rio Grande in the canyon, and this is used for rafting, and you can't get in there unless you're in a raft. So it has had a tremendous effect on agriculture and the people, because downstream there are 2 dams. There's the Amistad Dam and Falcon Dam, and Del Rio has the Amistad Dam, and it collects water, and it's at a very low level, and it won't release water downstream to Falcon Dam when this occurs. So very little water is being released from Amistad. And same thing is occurring at Falcon Dam in Laredo. They are not releasing water downstream. At the end of the video, you're going to see one of the reservoirs that has a record low. And here we see pieces of the Rio Grande with water within the Santa Elena Canyon. It's amazing. Now, there at this time, you can actually walk into the canyon up to a certain spot, but you can actually now walk through here. Now, here's rafting on a photo that they have here at the Big Bend National Park, and you can see people rafting. That's normal. And of course, this is what it looks like right here at the canyon. Now you can just walk around and get further into the canyon, and it's amazing. There were people upstream at this moment. So, but this is what it looks like along the Rio Grande in a lot of spots. And actually, up north in New Mexico, there are spots where it's up to 12 miles, according to LANDSAT, 12 miles with absolutely zero water, which is incredible. Again, it's the worst mega drought in 1,200 years because of very little rain during the summer. So, and this is what happens now. Later in the year, it gets lower because the water is being used for irrigation. Uh, but never has it ever been this bad, or at least in our lifetime. So I wonder what actually is happening with global warming or whatever. I'm sure the drought probably has the greatest impact here. Uh, but it's amazing. 1,200 years, the worst one in 1,200 years. And the Pueblo Indians obviously experienced some of this 1,000 years ago. So, but it's amazing that there are 16 dams north of this spot in the canyon at the Big Bend National Park. And look at this, absolutely no water going forward. Amazing. Well, for the little spots of water, but you can just walk around it and just continue going. Um, it's kind of, I mean, there really isn't any impact as far as immigration or whatever, because nobody actually would dare take the venture downstream.
Now, I've been coming here for since the mid 60s, and this is the lowest I've ever seen this reservoir. It supplies all the water for all farming around this area. There are a lot of these, but as you can tell, if you look at the water levels here, look at that. It's amazing how low uh, it is. And it's almost dry. I'll bet you there are spots in the center where it's dry, and you can tell over there that uh, it's amazing how much of an impact the Rio Grande has an effect on the farming, and actually the people around here have been under restrictions for water use. So it's amazing what impacts the Rio Grande going dry has on all these farmers, on all these people. It's amazing. It's a huge reservoir, and actually there's another reservoir on the other side of this, and that's just as bad as this.